Since the last update in August, the lion prides in the Manyeleti Game Reserve were facing some challenges. The Mbiri Pride in the north got surprised by the return of one of their pride males. Mandevu and Nchila had left them at the beginning of this year, despite becoming fathers of another generation of Mbiri cubs. The return of Mandevu came rather unexpected, since it had been reported that he and his brother had sired cubs with the Skorro pride and set up camp in their new territory in Kruger. But instead of his brother, Mandevu was seen in company of the young Orphan male, which immediately raised some question marks. As days went by, Mandevu became acquainted with the new cubs, and it looked like if he wasn't eager to go back to his brother anytime soon. However, shortly after his arrival, the pride got involved in a clash with the neighboring Nharu pride and the red road male, in which the older cub sadly got killed. Mandevu and the young Orphan male chased Red Road, but luckily they didn't catch him. Only the 6-month-old male cub survived the encounter, and latest reports indicate that he is still alive. Other than that, he doesn't have any playmates his age, so the older cousins have to fill in for now. The Orphan youngsters are almost 4 years old now, and with the young Orphan male slowly approaching adulthood, his place in the pride may change. And lately he was seen patrolling with Mandevu. It's also worth mentioning that when Mandevu returned by the end of August, he had some superficial injuries, which contributes to the concern that something might have happened to his brother. Even though he went back and forth between Kruger and the Mbiri Pride, there wasn't even a single sighting of Nchila. Unfortunately, there is no way to tell what happened, and we may never know. What we can say for sure, that he was a king and he was a fighter. He fought his way back when a snare incident made him an outcast. He conquered a new territory alongside his brother Mandevu, and wherever he is, he won't be forgotten. The northern part of Manyeleti is some kind of no man's land, and sometimes we see visitors from Timbavati. Not too long ago, 2 familiar faces showed up in the area. One of the males is known as the young Birmingham male, who was born in 2016, sired by the Avoca Giraffe Coalition. The other male is the Torchwood male, who is about the same age, and he was sired by the legendary Birmingham males. The 2 nomads found each other in the latter part of 2021 and formed the Mongawane coalition. Both males are 8 years old now and in their prime, and their latest movements point to the attempt to take over the Skorro pride. Many of the line dynamics unfold in the dark without anyone reporting on it. So we can't tell for certain if they may have had previous encounters with Mandevu and Nchila. At sunset, they started scent marking, and later they came across 2 lionesses who might belong to the Skorro pride. Given that this piece of land is not taken by any coalition, it would be great if they decide to stick around. The Red Road male, who is the leader of the Nharu pride, lately spends a lot of time on his own patrolling his territory. And he has all reason to, since the 4 Kambula males ousted his neighbor the Kruger male and started mating with the Imbali lionesses. The Nharu pride, who already had some encounters with the Kambulas, kept a low profile. Red Road's last remaining son is still with the pride, and not too long ago they were seen way out of their territory bringing down a buffalo in Juma. As far as we can tell, this was the first time that the Nharus went this far into Sabi Sand. Taking into account how packed the north already is, they moved back as soon as the buffalo was finished. And since then they stayed back to hunt in their home grounds. By mid-October, a lioness whose ID hasn't been confirmed yet was seen with 2 new cubs in the southern reaches of Manyeleti around Pongwe. The cubs were about 10 weeks old and may have been born early September. Back in May, Red Road was seen mating with one of the old Nharu lionesses, which points to him being the father of these cubs. The new offspring might also explain why he spends lately less time with the core pride. It's also worth mentioning that he was found sporting new battle scars in mid-October. Who he was in a fight with remains uncovered, but other than that, he is doing his thing, patrolling and protecting his territory. The portion of the Mbiri Pride who consisted of 2 older lionesses and the 3 daughters of the S8 male spends most of their time in Kruger. Until the arrival of the Kambula males, they were led by the Kruger male, who had no chance to defend his territory against a coalition of 4. The lionesses started mating with the newcomers back in August and followed them into territory they rarely visit. When lionesses are in estrus, they're actively seeking out the males and calling for them. When this happens in an area which is not their territory, it can lead to dangerous encounters by attracting the resident prides. Not to mention young nomads who are pumped with testosterone, who may also pose a danger to a lioness who is by herself. Such an incident sadly caused the loss of one of the lionesses mid-August, but tragically it wasn't the end of it. The 4 Imbali lionesses were seen early November in Juma. 3 of them flirted with the Mantemahle males, while 1 daughter of the S8 male kept mating with the Kambulas. She followed them deep into Nkuuma territory, and this is the last footage of her being alive. An hour later she got cornered and killed by the Nkuumas. The fight had been heard by the rangers and her body was found in the afternoon drive. She was the daughter of the S8 male, and her loss is a painful reminder that all of a sudden lions can lose their lives due to territorial disputes. The Mantemahle males also lately were highly interested into the territory that we thought would be a done deal for the Kambula males. They are 2 years older than the Kambulas and they have experience on their side. Only time will tell who gets the upper hand. For now, we hope that the sisters of the young lioness who lost her life can overcome these turbulent times and that the legacy of the S8 male will carry on.